Hello, I'm Rick Torbett, and welcome to Better Basketball's Better Post Play with Jermaine O'Neal and Tamika Catchings. There are 3 sections in the video. The first section contains Better Post Play, 10 chapters that will develop your post game step by step. But your training doesn't end there. In the last 2 sections, Tamika Catchings and Jermaine O'Neal will describe and demonstrate what it takes to dominate the inside position at the highest levels. But even that's not all. You're going to hear how Jermaine and Tamika got to where they are today, how they stay at the top of their game, and why I think they're so valuable to their teams. Use the video like an expert personal trainer who's right there with you to explain the details and hardcore techniques. Now, the first step to becoming a better player is to see it. Learn not only how to do the right move, but why. The second step is to repeat it. Repeat that move perfectly until you can do it at game speed without thinking. Confidence comes from successful repetition. The third step is to stay motivated until you reach your goal. Here's where getting inside the head and hearts of Tamika and Jermaine will inspire you to stay focused. How you play in the post begins with what you believe about the post. Chapter 1, entitled Post Philosophy, contains thoughts and principles to develop the attitude of a winning post player. The remaining chapters in this video are arranged in the same order that I develop post players, starting with a foundation, then how to get open, and finally adding moves and counter moves. Chapter 2 on fundamentals is the single most important chapter, regardless of the level of your talent. The success of the moves in the chapters that follow are going to depend on your stance, footwork, handwork, balance, and base. These fundamentals must become a habit before you move on. What good are your moves if you can't get the ball? Chapters 3 and 4 will teach you principles and techniques for getting open against zones and man-to-man defenses. Now you're fundamentally sound and you know how to get open. But the defense can play you a number of ways. How you attack, counter, and win in the post is not only determined by your size and skills, but also how the defense plays you and where you get the ball. Chapters 5 through 9 form a teaching progression based on these factors. Chapter 5 requires no moves with the ball. Scoring before you get the ball means learning how to position yourself in such a way that you simply catch the ball in the lane and score. Chapter 6 shows you how to gain an advantage while the pass is in the air. You'll position yourself to catch with at least 1 foot in the lane. You might make some moves with the ball, but none that require dribble. In Chapter 7, you've caught the ball outside the lane with your back to the basket. 3 different sets of moves with the ball are taught: the front pivot, the step pound hop, and the step pound pivot. Again, you're in the post with your feet outside the lane. The pro stance in Chapter 8 offers you a way to face the basket while watching for open teammates and help defenders. The defense might try to force you to the high post or the short corner, but in Chapter 9, you'll find that these positions offer unique ways to score. Chapter 10 is a summary of all the moves in the video, one after the other, move and counter move, in the order in which they were taught. And now, without wasting any dribbles, let's get started with Better Basketball's Better Post Play. Keep it simple is a great philosophy in the post game. This video is going to provide you with a variety of ways to play in the post, but your job is to find what suits you and your team. Develop a go-to move, a move that can be executed quickly and confidently, and then a few counter moves. Everyone should learn the post game. If you're a guard, consider who's defending you. It's usually another guard without the experience of defending in the post. If you're that mid-sized player who can play both inside and out, then you can take the smaller, quicker defenders who give you a hard time on the perimeter into the post where you have the advantage. If you never play in the post, you can still benefit by learning how and when to get the ball inside. You don't have to score to be successful in the post. Just being a threat to score inside is enough to draw defensive help and open up the perimeter game or loosen up the defense on your teammates. A good post player forces opponents to adjust and change their defensive strategy. If your teammates throw the ball to you in the post and you turn it over or put up some kind of brick, they might not feed you again. But if something good happens every time you touch the ball in the post, the ball will continue to be thrown inside to you. You need to understand your team's system of play and what your coach is trying to accomplish. Scoring may be a second option for you in the post. You may be getting the ball inside in order to pass to 4 other cutters first, and your option to score is last. On the other hand, the entire offense might be built for you to catch and score. Know what's expected of you. If you don't know, ask. If you're going to play in the post, you must desire, crave, and demand to get the ball inside. You've got to love contact because you're playing in the war zone. What about your size, you say? It's not the size of the dog in the fight that matters. It's the size of the fight in the dog. You got to love contact to play in it. Yeah.
Well, if you don't like it, you shouldn't play the post. That is definitely something that you shouldn't do, but it's something that you just strive off of. You know, I don't care how strong you are or how weak you are. You know, contact is what makes a post player a post player.
I'll add one more thing. If you shoot under 80% from the free throw line, teams are going to pound you. They'll make it harder for you to get open. They'll chest up your favorite shoulder, and they won't think twice about hacking you on your shot. But if you shoot over 80%, they think differently about how aggressive to play you. They won't bump you quite so often when you cut to get open. They'll give you more space once you get the ball, and they'll stay off your arms when you're shooting. Trust me, life in the post will be easier if you become a great free throw shooter. Whether you're playing against a zone or a man-to-man, and regardless of where you are in the post or how you're being defended, the concepts in this chapter must become habits that you use in every situation throughout the video. Now, let's get started. The purpose of many of the moves and techniques in the video is to get you the ball in the power shot position. It's so important that it's our first fundamental. To shoot the power shot, you must be inside the lane, typically on either side of the goal. Your shoulders are parallel to the backboard. With your bump out and knees bent, keep your back straight and the ball under your chin. When you explode upward, don't release the ball directly above your head. Instead, keep the ball slightly in front of you in order to use your body for protection. A defender from behind would have to go over your back to block the shot. The best power shot is a dunk because I know you'll be going up strong. But if you can't dunk, then use the glass and put the ball in the square. Concentrate on going up strong by leaving your handprints on the backboard after your shot. If you can't touch the backboard, then go up strong and reach for it with both hands. If you fake a shot, pump only with the ball in your head while keeping your knees bent and bump out. If you straighten up with your shot fake, you lose the ability to explode. When your defender jumps, go up seeking contact on his way down. Look to plant your inside shoulder into his chest while you're both in the air, not on the ground. Lean into the contact. His force will straighten you up, and you can finish with the outside hand. Seek the contact. Don't shy away from the defender, otherwise the official won't call the foul. This is so important that it bears repeating. Whether you can draw the foul or not, always shoot with the non-contact arm. Very few players can take the contact on their shooting arm and make the shot. Go up with both arms, get the contact on the inside one, and finish the shot with the outside hand. Right hand on the right side, left hand on the left side. First, you've got to communicate verbally. As you win your position, call for the ball. The battle in the post is too tough for you to not call for the ball when you're open. The passer can get distracted by a lot of things, and you've got to get his attention back to you. When your post player calls for the ball, give it to him. Don't pump the pass. Are you sure? It's too late then. No post player can hold his seal and stay open forever. In order to score, you must have the ball. In order to get the ball, you got to get open. Some post players think they're open and can't understand why the ball's not passed into them. It's because they don't look open. You must communicate visually that you're open and you want the ball. Throughout the video, you're going to learn to communicate that you're open, to demand the ball with your hands, your stance, your voice, with everything you've got. And for 1 or 2 seconds, you've got to control the defender and stay open. We're going to look at lots of techniques to get open in chapters 3 and 4. But once you get open, good defenders are not going to just lie down and die. They're going to battle to win the position back. You've got to hold your seal, meaning stay open long enough for the pass to be delivered. You've got to keep what you got. Stay wide and control the defender by feeling him on your backside and moving your feet. Keep your elbows wide and make it difficult for the defender to get around you. Sit in the invisible chair. This base gives you great balance and makes you heavy and difficult to move. Show the passer the numbers on your jersey. If the ball can see your numbers, you're open. If the defender's foot is over yours, he's winning. You must step over it, put your power base on his thigh or knee, and drive him off balance. Winning the foot battle first will make winning the arm battle easier. Don't lean back and try to do this with your shoulders and back, or you'll lose your balance. Keep your head over the line of your knees and use your bump. If you allow the defender to put his arm in the passing lane, then he might deflect the pass or discourage the pass from being thrown in the first place. Let's first look at what you cannot do according to the officials and compare it with the legal way to get your defender's arm out of the passing lane. Remember, always show the officials your hands. You can't push his arm down, but you can raise up your own arms. You can't knock his arm out of the way, but you can put your blade into the bend of his elbow and hold the position. If you miss his elbow, you might be tempted to reach around your waist to hold him, but instead, just find his armpit with your elbow. In the pro stance, don't use the inside arm to push off with. Don't extend the elbow. It's a foul. Keep the bend in your elbow and use your arm bar on his chest to create width and space between the defender and your receiving hand. 2 more techniques for you to consider. If the defender puts his arm on top of yours, you can control the arm with a bicep clamp. If the defender puts his arm under yours, you can use the armpit clamp and accomplish the same thing. Were these last 2 techniques offensive fouls? It depends on how the officials view it. The battle for space in the post borders on violation of displacement rules anyway. But in reality, The officials let you play up to a certain point. This type of arm battle falls in the same category. If possible, catch in a hop in order to have either foot as a pivot. Having a choice of pivot feet gives you the ability to attack in either direction. As soon as the ball hits your hands, before your feet hit the ground, touch your chin to your shoulder. This habit enables you to read the lane over your top shoulder. Perhaps you have a good position with a good stance, but your defender has a long reach and might still deflect the pass. Don't be scared to give up some space to safely catch the ball. It might be worth it to secure the pass. When you can, hold the ball under your chin against your chest. Your chest is like a third hand on the ball. With your elbows out, you've got a secure grip on the ball. It's hard for a defender to steal. But that can be exaggerated to the point of slowing you down. If you pivot to shoot with your hands on the side of the ball, you'll have to shift your hands to shoot. Instead, like all players, catch the ball with your hands in shooting position. The ball is still tight, but there are no hand shifts when you make the move to shoot. If you have trouble catching the ball with one hand, then it's simple. Don't do it. Catch with two hands. But if you find yourself using one hand as an arm bar and you're in the pro stance, then here's the technique. While you protect the pass with your arm bar, stop the ball with your target hand and then pull it in. Have a soft hand when you stop the ball. Let your hand absorb the pass. Don't flex your hand when catching. Get strong with the ball only after you pull it in. After you've stopped the fly of the ball with your target hand, trap and chin the ball with two hands. Can you hear the stop and the trap? In the pro stance, if the ball is thrown outside of your reach, put your weight on the outside foot and drag the inside foot while you stretch for the ball. Once you catch the pass, you can shift your weight back to both feet, but dragging the inside foot has kept you as close to the goal as possible. The line from the ball to the basket is typically the best position to post up and receive the ball. Your defender will try to keep you off the line. This position gives the ball a good passing window and gives you a good line of attack on the basket. Regardless of the zone offense that your team is running, and regardless of the zone defenses that you're attacking, there are principles of getting open that will work in all situations. Now, details and technique of how to score once you get the ball are the same here as they will be against a man-to-man. So we'll look at the actual scoring later. For now, just consider that if you don't know where your best chances are to receive the ball against the zone, then all the moves will be for nothing. Cut early or cut late, but don't move when the zone moves. If you cut as the zone shifts, the defenders can see you and cover you. If you move before or after the zone shifts, it's easier to work behind the defenders where they're blind to your movement, and it's easier to spot holes or gaps between the defenders.
If you want to find out ways on getting the ball in the zone, wait until the ball is rotated from this wing to that wing, or from this wing to the top, because the defense has to shift. And that's the best way of catching the ball in a crowded area is when the defense is shift, because when the defense is shift, it's open areas where you can just step in and take up the space.
This might be the single best principle against the zone. Let's look at two examples. First, the post cuts early before the zone shifts. And here, he waits for the zone to shift, sees the opening, and then flashes into it. Here is another example of moving before the zone shifts. Wait on the weak side, away from the ball. As soon as ball reversal begins, the center of the zone will begin to shift. Step to him and set your screen. You want to catch the center as deep in the lane as possible, perhaps even under the go. If you can put your defender under the goal, then two good things happen. First, your shot is as close to the basket as possible. And second, the rim and the net will provide you with added protection against having your shot blocked. The shot blocker will hit the rim or hang his hand in the net if he tries to go after the ball. Hunt the horizontal seam between the top and bottom defenders in the zone. There's also a vertical seam in some zones like this 1-2-2. Wait for the ball to go up top and then break into the seam. One of the most vulnerable areas against the zone is the short corner. It's defined as the triangle drawn from the block to the midpoint between the lane and the arc. Work behind the zone and attack the short corner when the baseline defender goes out to the wing. We'll look at the actual moves used to attack and score from this position in Chapter 9. The best players not only have great effort, they have intelligent effort. They know where to pick their battles. Here are the best places and best ways to get open against a man-to-man defense. Anytime you set a screen, you have an opportunity to get open. Defenders of both the screener and the cutter are going to alter their positions in an attempt to handle the situation. Whether they switch or not, you have a chance to catch one of them out of position, seal him behind you, and receive the ball. Here are a couple of examples. You find yourself setting a cross screen for a teammate. After the defense plays the cutter, open up and seal the remaining defender. Simply catch, go up, and use the rim for protection. Or maybe you see the chance to post up before your defender does. While he's handling the down screen, catch him off guard, step through a reverse pivot, get your seal, and call for the ball. Sometimes you can fake the screen away, and if your defender comes with you, he's vulnerable to be sealed. Here, she's defended on the baseline side. And here, he's defended on the top side. When the ball is being passed from the wing to up top, there is a prime scoring opportunity down the center of the lane, north-south. So often, perimeter players have a habit of swinging the ball east-west without looking north-south down the gut of the lane for your duck in. Great post players almost have a sixth sense about where the ball is going to be passed and how they can position themselves to take advantage of it. Beating your opponent to the position is a habit. Learn to anticipate where the ball is going and if it can see you. Then make your move before the defense changes his position. Now, based on your defender, there are 3 ways to execute the duck in. If your defender is the type who doesn't turn but stays in an open stance to the ball, quickly collapse his arm bar with your top hand and swim over with the baseline arm. Exaggerate the swim to draw the official's attention away from your other hand. Step through and sit down. Step toward the baseline as if you're going behind your defender. If he turns with you, his back to the ball, then take a cheat step with your top leg, hit and lift his arm on the triceps with your baseline arm, and step all the way across his body with the baseline leg. If you don't use a cheat step, many times you only get half a seal and the defender can recover. The cheat step is a short step with your top leg to get you closer to your defender. Using the cheat step allows you to step completely across the defender with your next step. If your defender tries to chest you or in some way gets body to body with you, then plant your top foot between his, reverse pivot, and spin to your wide, low, invisible chair stance. Keep the defender under the goal if you can. Usually, A good defender will play off of you when the ball is on the other side of the court. When the ball is passed to your side, he's going to return to get defensive position on you. The principle here is to go make your seal while he is still in helping position. What I mean is to step toward your defender while the ball is in the air, make contact while he is still deep in the lane, and open up for the ball. Don't wait and let him get proper positioning. Go get him. Now, if you have the space to step through with your bottom foot and shoot or swim your arm over, then you can turn and make your seal without taking your eyes off of the ball. But if your defender sees you or feels you and begins to fight his way around you, a reverse pivot to either side will allow you to maintain contact and complete your seal. The ball is up top and headed to your side of the floor. Start the classic leg whip by taking a cheat step between his feet with your outside foot. Now follow up by whipping your inside leg and arm across his body. Try to get the back of your leg on his thigh. If you can, then you have him beat. If you don't take the cheat step, you'll not get completely across his body. That leaves the defender with an arm and a leg in the passing lane, and you're not open. The ball is on your side of the floor. Give up battling and face your defender. Many times the defender will also stop battling, thinking that you've given up. When he comes out of his aggressive defensive stance or simply loosens up and gives you space, then step through and post. A similar way to create space is to put your head down like you're resting on your shorts. This makes your defender relax and your head creates space for you to step through. Here's the main principle when cutting to get open. If the defender presents you with an arm bar, press it down and swim over. If the defender goes body to body with you, reverse pivot and roll into your seal. If you're away from the ball and cutting to it, you're going to have to battle through a good defender who may chest you or ride you with an arm bar off of the line of your cut and away from where you want to go. If you wait until you're halfway across the lane to begin your move, then it's going to be a tough battle. Set up your man by faking the cut behind him, then read and react with these moves. If the defender meets you with an arm bar, push it down and swim over with your other arm. As you swim, take a big step like the leg whip from earlier. Sit down and get your position. Remember to demand the ball with your hands. This time, the defender tries to stand you up or chest you off of the line of your cut. Plant your bottom leg between his and then use a reverse leg whip as you spin. Get the seal, show target hands, catch and score. You might need a combination. The defender counters your swim move by chesting you body to body. Plant your baseline foot, get your arms up where the official can see them, drop step the top foot while you reverse pivot and roll into a good posting position. These two moves are much like the two we used going east-west from block to block. Fake a cut to the weak side of the goal as if you're going for a lob or an alley-oop. If the defender moves to armbar, you push down the armbar and swim over with your other arm. Then shoot to the ball with target hands. If he tries to bump or chest your cut, use the same reverse leg whip from 2 sections earlier. Once you've got him pinned, call for the ball and finish. If you're being fronted and there's no chance for a lob, don't give up. Here's 4 possible moves that could win you the position. The defender will often pin you against the invisible wall of the 3-second violation in the lane. If you feel like he's off balance, quickly step back, release the pressure, and as he stumbles to regain balance, step around and post up. If his arms are up, duck under one of the arms, step over his leg, and raise up to a good posting position like you're doing a squat in the weight room. Your legs are stronger than his arms. Release, go away from the ball, and then come back and reposition. When you release, the defender should be in a help position. Return with the same V-cut moves that you learned when cutting across the lane. If he arm bars you, push it down and swim over. If he chests you, roll into a reverse pivot.
No one individual defender should be able to stop you from catching the ball. You should be able to have counter moves without the ball to get the ball.
When watching the pros on TV, many times the post player simply catches and dunks, and most spectators think, nice dunk, but he didn't do anything special. Sometimes that's the case, but usually it's not. A lot of good basketball went on before the pass was made. In other words, the post player's moves were made before he got the ball. Now, there are 4 reasons for developing this type of post game. Your defender is bigger and stronger than you. Hey, if you're bigger, stronger, better skilled than the guy guarding you, then anything works. But what if it's the other way around? Maybe you just don't have great moves with the ball. Some players seem best suited to simply catch and score. The opposing team has quick help. Perhaps they've adjusted their help defense in such a way that you're stifled from making a move after you get the ball. Or perhaps you're going against someone who plays you tough after you get the ball, but for whatever reason, he doesn't play you tough while the ball is moved around the perimeter. Whatever the case may be, you must do all of your work to score before you receive the ball. Your moves to get open are your moves to score. When you catch, you'll be in the lane. When you're in the lane, use these 4 principles to score. Don't dribble, just go up. Shoot closer to the goal than where you receive the ball. If you're going to draw contact when you shoot, the line of your shoulders and his shoulders should form the letter T. The width of your shoulders creates protection from getting your shot blocked. If there's going to be contact, go up with 2 hands. Your arm closest to the defender should absorb the blow, leaving your other hand to score. Done properly, your arms will form a V. By the way, you've just learned the basics of the baby hook. In transition, post players have to run almost the entire length of the floor, from rim to rim. If you really sprint the floor and win that 90-foot race, you'll be able to catch and score in the post before your opponent gets back on D. The secret is, as soon as you see your team secure the ball, explode through your first 3 steps. Your offensive move is these first 3 steps that gain you the advantage and allow you to score. If your opponent is someone that you can move, use the pressure principle to create space. From whichever side the defender is giving you pressure, move him in that direction. Your passer should then lead you into the space you created, away from your defender. As the pass is thrown, release, go after the pass in the open space, catch and score. If you're guarded low, take them lower. If you're guarded high, take them higher. If you're defended dead behind, then move them under the goal. If you're fronted, move them away from the goal. Create space to get the lob. If you put one arm in the middle of his back and one arm up, you're going to get called for pushing off. Instead, put both arms up as a signal for the passer to throw the ball. Put your elbow over his shoulder and lock him down. Hold the seal with your hips. Release when the ball is between your arms, catch in a hop, keep the ball high, and score. If your defender is bigger, heavier, and stronger than you, and you can't move him, then you have to set a trap. Move the ball and just hold your ground for a split second. With the ball up top, battle for the duck in. While he's working on stopping your position, direct the ball to the wing. The attempted duck in was a trap. When the ball is moved to the wing, reverse pivot, hold your seal in position, catch and score. With the ball on the wing, battle for the mid-post position. Direct the ball up top and hold him out of the lane for a split second. Some players don't want to take their eyes off the ball when it's thrown from the wing to up top. I can appreciate that, but you'll have to step through your defender. You'll have to use your hands, step away to create some space, then step through, using your opposite arm to swim through or swim over, then regain your stance. You run the risk of getting tangled up and getting a foul called on you. Instead, a simple reverse pivot uses one step and no hands. If your back is to the baseline, your move to seal is even simpler, as Jermaine demonstrates. If he denies on the baseline side, it's even easier. Direct the ball up top where you can seal him outside the lane and receive the ball straight down the gut. With the ball above the wing and a teammate in the corner, direct the ball to the corner and hold your seal for an easy score. Even players who have great moves with the ball should still work to position this way. Think and position ahead of time and score before you get the ball. When you're overplayed on one side, your teammate should feed you on the other side away from the defense. If you drop step a foot into the lane while the ball is in the air, you're going to gain a half-step advantage on your defender. With 1 foot already in the lane, there's no need to dribble. All you have to do is score. Gaining this advantage is what Chapter 6 is all about. First, if the defender has both an arm and a foot in the passing lane, he might be able to lunge and deflect the pass. You're not open. You must win one of these two battles. And second, if you feel pressure from the defender on either shoulder, you don't want the ball thrown directly at your chest. So signal to the passer with the opposite hand that you want him to lead you away from the defender and towards the goal. Whether you drop step to the middle or to the baseline, take as long a step as possible. Since you're allowed one step, you might as well create as much space away from your defender as you can while getting as close to the goal as possible. Now, your heel should hit the ground first. Pivot slightly on your heel in order to point your toe in that direction. This allows you to step up and square to your target. If you don't point your foot to the target, you'll never get your hips around. Put your blade in the crook of his elbow. Keep a bend in your target arm. If the pass is a little wide, you can extend and get it. If you start with your arm extended and the pass is wide, you'll miss it or have to give up your position to catch it. Don't go after the ball with two hands. As soon as you release the arm bar, your defender will slip over top and deflect the pass.
You're releasing on the flight. As soon as the ball is thrown, you catch it and you're gone. Don't release, because when you release early,
right,
he's still able to keep coming and maybe even tip the ball.
Hold the arm bar until the ball touches the target hand, then trap it with both hands. If the pass is way outside your reach, then you have no choice but to let go with the arm bar and go after the pass. It's okay that you gave up the seal because the defender can't deflect this pass anyway. Ideally, catch in the power shot position and shoot off 2 feet. But if your drop step doesn't get you close enough to the goal, increase the length of your second step. You'll still jump off 2, and the long second step will get you a layup or a dunk. But be careful, because you lose the protection of your tee and open yourself to a shot blocker from the weak side. As soon as you drop step and catch the pass, explode to the goal in order to outquick your man. Use the glass or dunk it. If the defense stays between you and the goal, don't make a full pivot and square your body to the goal. That opens you up and lets him in to block your shot. Instead, only make a half pivot. Keep your shoulders at a T with the defender and shoot the baby hook. If the defense recovers to block the shot, use your up and under. Let's break it down. Shot fake above your head, but keep your knees bent. Look at the goal and give the universal "I'm going to shoot" look on your face. Go ear to ear with the ball. There won't be any space to rip it through like there is on the perimeter. Step back through in the direction you came and pass your hips by his. You might be in a wide base when you shot fake, but you must get skinny in order to pass your hips and step through. Jump like a jet to get to the goal, or go off one leg for the hook. If you don't, he can recover and block your shot. Catch and hook, especially if you jump well off one foot. It's a quick way to score that doesn't give your man or help defense much time to react. Here are some pointers on technique. Point your toe across the lane. It opens up your hips and your shoulders. You should have the line of your shoulders pointing to the basket. The shooting arm stays slightly bent while it lifts the ball. Let your wrist and fingers provide the touch. When the ball leaves your fingers, your arm should be in a V. Your follow-through should land you square to the goal. Here's another place where a cheat step can help you gain more ground. As the ball is in the air, move your pivot up under you with a little hop. You'll catch the ball just in time to take an even longer drop step. You've caught the ball with both feet outside the lane and your back is to the basket. Your defender is behind you. Now, in order to score, you have to make a move with the ball. You need to be able to attack in either direction. So stay well above the block. If even one of your feet is below the block, then a drop step or front pivot puts you at a bad angle or even behind the backboard. So, catch and a hop in order to pivot on either foot. Then chin the ball with elbows out for protection, look over your top shoulder, and read the situation. Is a teammate open for a shot? Is there space for a move, or is there traffic in the middle? And here's the key. You've got to read all three things as you catch the ball, even before your feet hit the ground. Not only must post players be able to use either foot to pivot, but also to reverse pivot and front pivot. Is the defender leaning on one side, trying to move you away from the basket? Is he so strong and heavy that he's making you take a step to regain your balance? If so, your defender is vulnerable to the spin and go. Don't fight his momentum, just pivot and spin on the foot opposite the pressure. Just spin and go. This should leave your defender off balance without a chance to recover. The defender is directly behind you with an arm bar in your back. He's not committing to either side. He's just waiting on you to make your move. You must get him to commit to one side or the other so that you can drop step into the lane. Show him a little of the ball over one shoulder. Even lean in that direction so that he moves to block you. When he does, drop step the other foot, pound the ball with both hands, and hop to a 2-foot power stance. This is the step, pound, hop. It's a balanced and powerful move that keeps your body between the ball and the defender. Here's how it's done. Drop step and make it a big step. Heel first, toe second, and point in the direction you want to go. With back straight and head up, pound the ball once between your legs with both hands. The ball and your foot hit the ground at the same time. Shift your weight over the drop step leg so that you can jump off that same foot. Sweep your back leg around and cover as much ground as possible with your jump. Land balanced on 2 feet with the ball firmly under your chin. The step, pound, hop is also used in chapters 8 and 9. Now, let's see how you score with the step, pound, hop. If you beat him baseline, shoot the power shot. If he recovers and blocks the baseline, pivot to the middle, baby hook. Or use the standard hook if you like going off of one leg. If you beat him to the middle, shoot the power shot. If he's recovered, shoot the baby hook. If he recovers to block your shot, up and under. If he recovers and blocks the middle, then reverse pivot to the power shot. In fact, some players make the move to the middle slow on purpose to let the defense think they've recovered. They might even knock on that door twice. Then they drop step to the prime scoring position and use the power shot. When going to the middle, the step and hook is also available. You simply catch the ball from your dribble and step and hook. This will fit your game well if you're more of a finesse player, or perhaps you're long and tall. Here's a chance to take advantage of your height and length and make it to the other side of the goal. Perhaps your drop step covers enough ground and you need simply to go up and score. Take out the 2-foot hop and you have a drop step, pound, and a quick pivot to score. Watch as the basic moves are the same as the previous step, pound, hop section. Drop step to the baseline side. Drop step middle, jump shot. Drop step middle, jump hook. Drop step middle, up and under. Middle is blocked, counter to the baseline. If you're a good shooter, the front pivot jump shot might develop into your go-to move. First, you must create some space. Show the ball away from where you want to pivot. Even lean and look over that shoulder. You have to sell the defender that you're going that way. Now, you have to pivot all the way around in the other direction, get square, and get off your shot. This pivot must be quicker than your defender. Here's how you make it work. When you fake, lean in that direction. This takes the weight off of your pivot foot and allows you to raise your toe and pivot on your heel. As soon as you show the ball to the defender over your shoulder, swing your elbows and rip the ball around to your shot pocket. This helps your pivot square up to be even quicker. Your shot pocket in the post is above your head with elbow bent. Now, don't change your form from your regular jump shot just because you're close to the goal. Finish with both arms up, and if you feel like you have too much power, slow your hands down at the top of your shot. If you're pivoting to the middle, your target is the rim. But if you're pivoting for the bank shot, aim at the corner.